On August 2nd, 2017, around 5:15 p.m., a 21-year-old woman named Savannah Gold left her house and headed towards San Khosrow Boulevard. Her shift at Bonefish, a seafood restaurant, was scheduled to start at 5:30 p.m., but on that day, Savannah didn't show up for work. The supervisor, considering that the restaurant was quiet in the afternoon, simply removed Savannah's name from the list of questions without further investigation. An hour and 15 minutes later, Savannah's father received a message from his daughter's phone. The message read, "43 seconds later, her brother also received the same message." Although both messages were sent from Savannah's phone, her family realized that something was wrong. Just an hour earlier, she had left the house in high spirits, but now she sent a message saying she had run away with an unknown man without even taking her backpack or changing her clothes. Moreover, the message contained several errors that differed from Savannah's usual way of typing. Her phone turned off 1 minute after sending the messages. Her family immediately called her workplace and discovered that she hadn't shown up there either. They reported her disappearance to the police. 40 minutes later, her car was found in the restaurant's parking lot. The car was unlocked, and the only thing that seemed to be missing was her phone. Her identification card, wallet, and other valuable items were still in place. The police immediately checked the surveillance cameras in the parking lot to examine the initial evidence. Most of the camera footage was not publicly available or accessible, but a detailed description of what happened was published. We know that Savannah parked her car there and got out at 5:31 p.m. She then approached another car that was also parked there and spoke to someone in the passenger seat for 14 minutes. Finally, she sat in the back seat. 14 seconds later, the car started shaking and trembling in a strange way, as if a struggle was taking place inside. The back door opened 3 times, but each time it was quickly and firmly closed, as if someone was trying to get out but couldn't. This situation continued for 49 seconds, until suddenly the shaking and trembling stopped. Then a man got out and walked towards Savannah's car, which was parked a few meters away. The camera footage is not clear enough to identify the person's face. All the police have from this footage is that the man has short brown hair and average height. He went to Savannah's car, presumably took her phone, and then used a knife to slash the front tire. Finally, he returned to his own car, started it, and drove away. It was unprecedented for Savannah to leave her car. 2 days later, investigators conducted interviews with almost all the employees of Bonefish Restaurant. Following these interrogations, the police identified 3 main suspects in the case. The first suspect does not have a driver's license, the second one owns a red 2001 Jeep, and the third one has a silver 2012 Chevrolet, similar to the car seen in the surveillance camera footage. The name of this man is Darty Lee, and he is 28 years old. He works as a manager and head chef at Bonefish Restaurant. During the initial questioning at the restaurant, he told the officers that he hadn't seen Savannah for 3 weeks and had no idea where she might be. The police learned through his co-workers that Lee and Savannah had a tumultuous on-and-off relationship over the past 8 months. They believe Lee is an attractive man who has quickly advanced in his career, and his co-workers think he has had numerous successful relationships with the opposite sex. Overall, it appears that his life is going well, but now he is the primary suspect in this abduction case. On August 5th, around 5:30 p.m., the police apprehended Lee in the middle of his shift and brought him to the interrogation room.
Can you do me a favor? I'm going to have you take that apron on, too, just to kind of get it right there. I'll say it right here. You can go ahead and have a seat for me real quick. I'll be right back, okay?
Yes, sir.
The investigator told him he would be back soon, but Lee sat there for 90 minutes. He was alone with his thoughts, surrounded by the internal voices and noises. Imagine yourself in this situation, assuming you are the accidental cause of something that happened to Savannah. The police brought you here for a traffic violation, but the day before, they questioned you about your missing coworker. In this situation, your mind goes in 1,000 directions, and you wonder what will happen next, with each passing second intensifying your anxiety and distress. But there is still a glimmer of optimism and hope. The sound of the door opening after a long wait can be soothing, but in the current situation, it immediately turns into a tremendous shock because the detective entering the room is the same person who interviewed you about Savannah yesterday.
How you doing?
Good. Do you remember me from the other day, Detective Reeves? Okay.
In that moment, Lee realizes that the situation is much worse than he had imagined, and any trace of hope he had vanishes. The relative optimism he had in the past 90 minutes now transforms into fear and terror.
I wanted to talk to you, or actually, you want some more water?
Please. Actually, would it be all right to use the restroom one more time?
Yeah.
before
Come
we
on,
start?
you bet. I'll walk out there. Have you drank any alcohol today? Any drugs today?
The detective begins the interrogation with open-ended questions, allowing the suspect to respond however they want. Typically, someone who has nothing to hide provides short and concise answers to these questions. For example, Lee could answer the detective's questions by saying, "I met Savannah at work, and I've known her for 2 years." If the suspect has something to hide, they are more likely to give long and detailed answers.
I've known her obviously since she started working there. I would say probably about 8 months ago
Yeah.
or so. We started hanging out outside of work. Then she started using drugs a lot.
Okay.
Now, I used them with her, not the same drugs that she used all the time, but I did them with her a couple times, and then she started to get heavy into them, and that was the last time that we texted.
Okay.
When was that? When was that?
It was probably 2-3 weeks ago.
And then the last time, when was the last time you saw her?
This is what I was a bit. I didn't tell you the truth when we talked at Bonefish.
Okay.
Lee is not exactly sure what evidence exists against him, but he knows the investigator has prepared something for this interrogation session. Therefore, he has no choice but to revise the facts he previously stated to establish his innocence and provide a form of mild confession. This retreat allows the interrogators to get closer to the actual confession. Additionally, they can now hold on to important pieces of evidence for critical moments during the interrogation.
Last time I saw her was Wednesday afternoon.
Okay.
I heard that she has been basically telling a lot of people at work that we hooked up a bunch, like a couple days before that, and that she was going to like tell about the whole situation and, you know, try to get me fired. And
Then why would that get you fired?
Well,
I don't
I'm a manager and she's an employee. So
okay,
it's
so you guys aren't supposed to fraternize?
Yeah.
Or, okay, I got you.
And she just told people, I guess, that she was out with that work at the restaurant that we were having sex.
Okay.
I pulled in the parking lot. She pulled in a little bit after me. I parked, and I said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" And she said, "Yeah, what's up?" And I was like, "I heard you've been saying some things about me and you. Can I come sit in the car? Because I just did some heroin and I'm a little paranoid." And so she came and sat in the car, and I said, "I would appreciate, I need you to stop, because for one, it's jeopardizing my job." We agreed to, split. She said, "Fuck you, you're a piece of shit." And I said, she said she's gonna keep talking, telling lies and stuff about me and everything like that. And
The suspect is trying to eliminate any traces of his involvement in Savannah's disappearance. He believes that someone witnessed him at the crime scene, and he hopes that the verbal altercation is the only thing witnessed. However, as you know, the investigators have evidence showing that Savannah never got out of the car. In this way, Lee is unknowingly imprisoning himself between his lies, which is exactly what the interrogators want.
she had her phone in her hand. She got out of the car and walked towards the main entrance from San. She had her phone in her hand. She got out of the car and walked towards the main entrance from San Jose.
So she gets out of the back seat and begins walking in the direction of, not necessarily paralleling San Jose, but she's walking towards 295 or down towards that entrance area.
Yeah.
And then she's got her phone, and you said you thought she was calling somebody?
The investigator knows that the entire story Lee has described is fabricated, but by pretending to be on the suspect's side, he is not gathering information. Instead, he is simply luring the subject down until he finds the best opportunity to strike. When the suspect feels that the interrogator has believed his words, his anxiety gradually decreases. Since the first confrontation is about to begin soon, the investigator decides to implement this strategy beforehand.
Yeah, she had her phone out and was looking at it, and then it looked like she was going to put it up to her ear, and then the green truck came around.
Okay. What happened to your neck?
Here, we witnessed a sudden change in the intense and sharp demeanor of the interrogator towards Lee, which throws him off from the sense of reassurance he had during the initial questioning. This rapid and unexpected shift from a numb feeling to fear can confuse the suspect, and he may even lose his ability to think clearly for a moment.
That was self-inflicted, actually.
After taking a nervous and lengthy 3-second breath, it took Lee a while to respond, but he provided an answer that somewhat saved himself. He intends to show that he feels ashamed to talk about self-harm. The interrogator immediately realizes this and fires the next question, preventing the suspect from escaping the discussion.
Why?
I just have been having kind of a hard time.
Your neck?
I couldn't.
In the second workshop, the topic is introduced for the first time. It is mentioned that the position of the neck is unusual for self-harm, indicating disbelief in this story.
Yeah, I did. And
What did you use?
a knife.
When did you do that?
Some time in July.
You did that in July and it's still
Yeah.
bloody?
Well, I kind of peeled the scab here and there at work, hitting it on stuff like that. I peeled it last night working.
It's probably not good advertising for Bonefish to have their chef injuring himself at work. But regardless, we know that these fresh wounds are related to the altercation with Savannah and are not self-inflicted.
Did she call you later on or text you later on?
Savannah, no.
Mm-hmm. No other contact with her?
No.
So where's Savannah right now?
I don't know.
Where would I find her?
I don't know.
Innocent suspects usually respond to such a question with a question, like asking why they're being asked or what the interrogator means. However, Lee doesn't give any emotional response or even express surprise, which leads the interrogator into the main confrontation.
I want to find this girl. I need to find her.
I understand.
And here's a couple reasons I need to find her. One is I'm hoping that she's still alive. And if she's not alive, then I think she and her family are due that knowledge. This family deserves better than somebody who works with her and who's got knowledge and won't tell the police because they're worried about their own ass. So where is she?
I don't know where she is.
Where is Savannah?
I don't know.
I need to know where Savannah is so I
I
can
don't
let
know
her family
where
know.
she is.
You don't know because you had something done with her and you weren't involved in that part? I don't know. Tell me something. What can I work with?
I told you the last time I saw her.
But that's not true because we have proof.
When it seems like the suspect is trying every possible method to maintain his innocence, the second interrogator comes into action. By presenting a portion of the evidence, they intend to increase the pressure to the maximum.
She never got out of your car. Lee?
We're not saying that you did anything. I'm trying to find her. I didn't say you
I
did
don't
anything.
know where she is.
Well, we can prove that you left with her in the car. So please, do everybody a favor and just tell us.
Where is she?
I don't know.
You got to be able to be able to separate. We're not sitting here saying you did anything to her. I don't know. She's on drugs. Maybe she passed. I don't know. I'm not in that car with you guys. I know that she's in that car with you. I have proof of all of this.
Okay, let me ask you, Lee. Then tell us now if you're being an honest man. She never got out of your back seat. Video cameras don't lie.
Lee,
How do you know? How do you think I know this information, Lee? I wasn't there, but a video camera caught it.
tell me what happened.
I don't know.
What?
Where did you go with her?
I didn't go anywhere with her.
You did.
No.
You did. So the video camera's lying?
The surveillance footage is undoubtedly solid evidence to prove the crime, but it doesn't conclude the case. The interrogators need a confession, so they continue applying more pressure while also triggering the suspect's emotions.
No. Where did you go with her? Where did you go with her, Lee? Be human. You're a human. You're a man. Where did you go with her? I know you're not that cruel inside. Seriously. Where did you go with her?
Maybe you
Please.
maybe you don't know where she is now. Where did you go with her?
Please. I'm begging you, Lee. Please. Please tell us. Please don't make us waste any more of our time. Just tell us. Please tell us. Please. I'm begging you. I know you're not evil. Just tell us where she is. I'm begging you. Please. Please. Can you please just tell me? Where did you go with her then? Can you
At least tell us that.
at least tell us that part? Where did you go with her afterwards? She didn't get out of your car, and you know that obviously because I
and
know
we do
that.
too. That's why we're here.
Where else did you go before you went home? I mean, I know you eventually went home,
I
but
didn't go anywhere. I went straight home.
okay. So what did y'all do when you got home? Savannah was with you. She was with you, and that's okay at that point. But I need to know where did she go from there? Is she still at your house?
No.
Okay. Is she still in your car?
No.
Okay. Well, then where is she?
I don't know where she is.
Okay. Then where did you last drop her off at?
I didn't drop her off.
Okay. Well, then tell me.
What happened? Where'd you guys go?
We went to my house, did some jokes,
Okay.
hung out for a little, and then she said she was going to catch an Uber home.
She kicked open that door 3 times, Lee. She kicked it. We saw it. Where's Savannah?
I don't know.
You do know. Lee, we understand. Listen, we understand.
We're not trying to hinge you up on anything, man. I'm telling you, I'm thinking about this girl and her family. And your family.
She was... Sorry.
The released video of the interrogation cuts off exactly at this moment. What we know is that Lee confessed to Savannah's murder, and the details shown indicate that after the murder, he took the body to his house, set it on fire in a pit, and ultimately threw it into a lake. The forensic examination revealed that 75% of Savannah's body had injuries, but the exact cause of death is not determined. The only thing certain is that it was an extremely violent murder.
Idiot, Lee. Fucking stupid.
Lee's immediate anxiety about confessing is combined with the dark prospect awaiting him in the future, creating a severe emotional turmoil that only a few people experience in their entire lives.
I'm nice to you. It's time to get to wear a chef coat. Everything could totally wrong.
Lee was arrested and transferred to prison. Despite a plethora of evidence against him, the court rejected the sentence of life imprisonment without parole. Lee claimed that the murder of Savannah was somewhat self-defense and stated that after she punched him several times in the face, he got scared, grabbed her neck, shook it, and then realized he had broken her neck, leading to her death. Ultimately, Lee was sentenced to 40 years in prison.